Alright, let's get into the real fun. Lei has just an arsenal of techniques and stances that he can use, but the centerpiece among them is the 5 gates form. 5 primary animal stances that Lei uses that can move back and forth between each other, that all have a slightly different purpose, but all kind of fit together as one whole piece. It's almost like a second character just layered on top of him. The simplest way to do these is 3+4. He does that little wind up, but if you do nothing or press one of the 4 buttons, you get a different stance. So the 5 general stances are snake, whoops, looks like that. And if you do 3+4, 1, you get the dragon stance. 3+4, 2 gets you the panther that looks like that. 3+4, 3 is tiger, and 3+4, 4 is crane. So these are the 5 basic stances, and you can transition between each one of them by sidestepping. If you go into snake, you sidestep left, it becomes dragon, and then tiger, and then repeats. Dragon, tiger. If you go the other way, then it goes tiger, dragon, snake. And then starting from snake, if you go to your right, you get panther, and then crane, etc. So to your left is dragon, tiger, to your right is panther, crane, in that order. You can go backwards between the 2 of them like that. Sidestepping will transition you from one into the other. Not to mention, the moves within each stance that can do the same thing will lead you into another one. So let's go over these 5 stances and all of their individual moves and how their transitions work. Like I said, the most basic form is the snake. This probably has the most moves in it with the most variety, and it has a good job of getting you into the other stances. You can also do this by just doing forward 2+3, a quick sidestep into snake. Because it used to be, this 3+4, that was new in Tag 2, I believe. There was no way to just go into a raw stance like that. You had to like laser left combo and do this, which is very risky. So now that you have this, you can go right into a stance quickly if you need to. And you want to start with snake. Snake is the basis for learning how all these work. So the first attack out of snake is 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. All highs, they're all going to be a natural combo, and they're going to jail you, so there's not too much risk there. You keep doing it, and you hold forward, he goes right back into snake again. He takes the sidestep into snake. And almost all of these stances, when they do transition, will have a built-in sidestep. That's kind of the risk of them all, is if an opponent is really aggressive, you'll sidestep them, but if they know it's coming, they'll wait for that sidestep and just destroy you. So it's kind of a double-edged sword in that regard. Very few moves like this just go right into their stance. Most of them have a bit of a step, like that. So keep that in mind. Your stance transitions are not free. They can be destroyed by an opponent who's keen on them. But you can't let that stop you from using them. You just have to be clever about how you do it. So snake 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 is that high sequence. 2, 2, 2 looks like that. It's mid, mid, low. Now, there's no mix-up there. Everybody and their grandmother knows since Tekken 3 that third hit is a low, and they're going to low parry it. You could almost forget about that even existing at this point, but it does. You know, just if you feel like it's your lucky day, you can go for it. But each one of these will transition to another stance. If you just do a single 2 and hold forward, you get dragon. If you do 2, 2 and hold forward, you also get dragon. And if you do all 3, which I don't recommend, and hold forward, you get panther. And this was the old Tekken 3 trick that used to drive noobs crazy, is 2, 2, 2, 1, 2. Because panther scratch is also a low. So it goes mid, mid, low, low, high. And that used to just hit people all day. Nowadays, that's not going to happen. You're not going to catch anybody with that third low. 2, 2 is pretty much all that you need. And you can use that to transition into dragon. Snake also has 1, 2, 1, 2. Looks like that. Not a natural combo, and that last hit is high. So be very careful about how you use it. I think on counter hit you should get it. Oops. Nope, you don't get it on counter hit. So that's kind of out the window. They're going to duck that. There's not a real guaranteed way to get it. You could probably just survive with 1, 2, 1. It'd be good that way. Just get some hits and move on. He also has 1 plus 2, which is that mid, causes a nice bounce back. This is also the same mid you're going to get out of sitting snake. We'll get to that later. And then his 2 kicks. Basically, each of the 5 primary stances will have a low kick and then a rush combo attached to the rest of them. For the most part, they're not always the same. It helps to think about Lei in terms of those patterns. What do all these things have in common? When he's on the ground, 3 is always a low, and 3 plus 4 is always like a helicopter kick or something. Think about those patterns and what is similar, and then what is dissimilar. Most stances will have a low kick. In this case, it's 4, and it leaves him in snake. You don't ever come out of snake. You can just stay this way. Go back into the high strings, and then lows again, stay in snake. The 3 is that. Kind of an unusual move. This one, I'm not honestly sure how you're supposed to combo it because it leaves him on the ground. It leaves you face down like this, and I'm not quite sure what you can really get combo-wise from it. It looks a lot like this, the while standing 3 plus 4, except that when you're still, you know, mobile, you can combo. Snake 3, a little bit different situation when you catch them. You can get a follow-up, sure, but I don't know if you can get a whole combo there. So that's it for Snake. It's pretty basic for all these stances, honestly. The 1-1-1-1-1, the 2-2-2 can transition into a couple stances, and then 2 kicks. But the takeaway really is that the 1-1-1s and the 4 both leave you in snake, and 2-2, the first 2 hits go to Dragon, the third hit goes to Panther. So you got to remember stuff like that. You got to realize I'm in snake, okay, let me do those 2 mid strikes. What do I get out of it? Where am I going to be? If you end up in Dragon stance, you don't realize that's where you are, you're going to be in trouble. So you do have to learn the flow chart, so to speak, of how these work. So let's move on to Dragon, which has several ways to do it. You can do 3 plus 4 and then hit 1 right away. I mean right away. There you go. Or you can just sidestep left out of snake. So in Dragon, your one attack is a throw. Looks like that. You can also hold back to cancel that throw and fake him out a little bit. Actually cancels very quickly. Just whoop, right back into it. The 2 attack is a counter hit launcher. Gets him up in the air for a combo. As well as holding forward transitions you directly into Tiger. So you can do both. You should still be able to combo if you do, but if you catch your counter hit... Damn it. Something like that. I'm not sure. I haven't figured out that combo yet either. I haven't figured out most of them. But Dragon 2 is a counter hit launcher, mid, safe, and you hold forward to go into Tiger. Also, if you do forward 1 plus 2, that also gets you to Tiger. Oops. 3 plus 1, 1. Forward 1 plus 2 also takes you back into that Tiger stance. So Dragon goes into Tiger pretty freely. You can just sidestep left again if you want to, but you also have several ways to do it. 2 and forward 1 plus 2 will both do it. Neutral 1 plus 2 is this high launcher. It's going to jail. I do not believe they can duck that. Oops, Dragon 1 plus 2. Pop, pop. I don't think they can duck. It's too fast. It should jail them. It's a screw attack out in the open, and it's a crumple stun launcher by itself. And then all the otherwise that's left out of Dragon is the low or rush combo. In this case, 3 is your low, which you can hold forward and do that. Go into Crane, all the way on the other side of the spectrum. And then 4 is Wolf Strike. This is another combo we'll go over in the rush combo sequences. Like I said, most of these stances, the kicks, one of them will be a low, and the other one will start one of his rush combos. So we'll get to a little bit more of that later on. But Dragon 4 is a sequence of combos with plenty of options therein. So we'll come back to that in the next section. Let's move on to Panther. 3 plus 4, 2. This is if you go to the right from Snake. If you're in Snake and you sidestep right, it'll go to Panther. This is a much simpler stance. 1-2 is that low high. Going to catch people off guard. If they happen to block it and duck, you're in trouble. But it's pretty fast. Just pop low attack with the knockdown. It's pretty good. Panther 2 is this launcher. Mid launcher. I don't believe it transitions at all. Sometimes they hide. There's things I don't know still, you know? Sometimes they hit them in there that I didn't realize it was even a thing until last week. That one I don't believe there is any hidden trick to it. There's just the 1-2 low, the mid launcher, 3, whoops. 3 is this little hop low that leaves you in Panther again. And then 4 is the beating kick rush combo. And then we'll cover that again in the rush combo sections. I'm going to write most of this down in like a note, or maybe just post a Google Doc in the description so you can kind of look at it instead of having to remember each one from here on out. But that's it for Panther. There's not a lot of other things to it. It doesn't really do anything else. Panther is the kind of all or nothing stance. You either get that low knockdown or you get that mid launcher, and that's it. Once you've done that, you're done. There's no more really transitioning back. Panther is the only one that doesn't take you into another stance. The low takes you back to Panther, but there's no transitioning into Tiger or to Crane or anything like that. So Panther's kind of the end of the line. You either get the low, the knockdown, or the mid launcher, which is what you want, right? You either want to get a combo or do you want to, restart your offense. So that's where the sequence ends in that regard, is Panther. Now the other side, let's go to Tiger. 3 plus 3, 3. Which again, if you sidestep twice to the left out of Snake, you'll get Tiger. Now 1 is this little mid palm strike. Oops, wrong stance. This is plus on block. It is also a counter hit launcher. We're going to get that little bounce. So that's always been there. Tiger 1 and 2 both used to be mid counter hit launchers. Tiger 1 is still the same. Counter hit bounces you. But the new Tiger 2-2 is a natural launcher. Does that. The 1 used to be a bound move, and now the 2 is a screw attack. So they kind of just like traded places. But instead of requiring a counter hit, the 2 is now a natural launcher. At the cost of being mid-high. They can duck that. It's got a nice delay enough. They recognize that animation. They duck that second hit. But regardless, that's a natural launch out of Tiger. They have to kind of live in fear of that. Because Tiger 4 is this. Just an unseeable low. It's so unfair. Boop! Low launcher. Like, I don't know what you're honestly supposed to do about that other than just panic. I don't know, maybe just random hop kick. So now there's a natural mid launcher and a low launcher out of Tiger that are just really hard to deal with. This is also where he has the wall bounce. 1 plus 2, that is your wall bounce attack now. And Tiger 3 is a little bit of a different one. Tiger 3 is this mid screw attack. It goes into sitting snake. It's one of the few things that takes you to sitting snake. Like that. Knocks them down. A quick mid knockdown is also a screw attack if they happen to be in the air into sitting snake. So Tiger is really the dangerous stance. It's the hardest to get to, but it's super dangerous. A plus frame mid, a natural mid launcher, a natural low launcher, has your wall bounce attack, and another knockdown mid that's going to be safe with another stance transition. That's the dangerous stuff right there. Tiger is really worth getting to as often as you can do it, which is why things like this are so nice. Sidestep 1 right into that Tiger stance. The other way to do it is that down forward 1 plus 2, which practically disguises your transition. You don't get frame advantage for these, keep in mind, you can be blown up, but Tiger's where you want to get. That's the dangerous stuff. And so the last stance out of 5 gates form is the crane. You can do 3 plus 4, 4, go like that. Excuse me. 1 is that little mid strike for the knockdown. 2 is now a little bit different. That's a high homing move and is also a screw attack. Like you can do stuff like use it for that. Weird looking, kind of takes to the air a little bit, but they turned that into a screw attack. It used to just be kind of like a back fist that would leave him turned around. Now they turned it into a full spin around homing attack. So that's crane 2. Crane 1 plus 2 is this. Used to be able to combo that too. I don't even remember how, to be honest. I forget how to do that, but it's probably still there. Whoops. Crane. Man, timing is off today. Crane 4 is that low kick that knocks him down. And then the crane dance is 3, 4, 2, 3. None of that's natural. They're going to block that last hit. It's just kind of there to like keep them guessing, I suppose. They're going to know that second hit's a low anyway and parry it before you even get to that point. So it's one of those things that like people have seen a million times, but it is still there. And the other thing out of crane is he has an up forward 4 hop kick. Pretty much like the normal hop kick. He had the normal hop kick, and then the up forward 3 hop kick leaves him into crane, but only works on counter hit. Once you're in crane, up forward 4 becomes a normal hop kick again. Like that. Leaves you in crane the second time, so you can go, you know, right into that. or whatever you want to do from there. But that's it for Crane. Crane's the one that you kind of, it's only for style points. There's nothing terribly good out of it. The low is nice, but people are going to be super scared of that low, and I don't know if your mids are as good enough to back that up. The Tiger low is much more dangerous, and the mids are much better to cover. So Crane is mostly just style points. In case, you know, someone's coaching your opponent to sweep the leg, this is how you want to counter it. Because the Crane stance will auto hop kick a low attack. Let me just show you that real quick, just in case you don't believe me. I'll start recording this. You can even hear I'm not pressing any buttons. I'll do it again. Listen. Nothing. That hop kick is automatic. He automatically hop kicks low attacks. And is going to have the same thing. You'll see that too. So the advice of sweep the leg is not a very good one when your opponent knows this technique. Lei will automatically hop kick them. You get the whole combo, whatever it gets from there. Like that. So that's all Crane is for. The super style points and the Karate Kid references. Other than that, Tiger's the one that you really want.